Mommy, can you tell me a tale?
Of course, baby. Once upon a time,
Each second in this calendar is equal to 500 years. The cosmic calendar was invented by Carl Sagan.
The 1st of January there was an explosion called the Big Bang. Time, space as matter began with it. Later, the first neutron atoms appeared.
19 days later, the first star and galaxy was formed. We aren't speaking about this type of star, neither sea star. Otherwise, the lights we see in the sky at night.
there are different kinds of stars in the sky. Some are very big. A couple of stars have been found that are 100 to 200 times larger than the Sun. Some very old stars are smaller than the Earth. Scientists study the stars and place them in groups based on how they are alike and how they are different.
There are billions of galaxies in the universe. Some are very small, with a few million stars, while others could have as many as 400 million stars, or even more. There are three kinds of galaxies: spiral, elliptical, and irregular. The only difference between the three is what shape they are.
On May 6, the Milky Way was formed. It lies within a group of galaxies that we call the local group. The Milky Way is shaped like a huge whirlpool that rotates once every 2 million years. It's made up of at least 1 billion stars, gas, and dust. The center of the galaxy is very hard to see because of clouds of gas that block our view. We live in this galaxy.
4 months later, 1/1 was the formation of the solar system. It's made up of the Sun and all of the smaller objects that move around it. Apart from the Sun, the largest member of the solar system are the 8 major planets. Nearest the Sun are 5 fairly smaller rocky planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars.
Mercury. But no, please, Mercury. I'm going to talk about Mercury. Mercury is the first planet from the Sun. Mercury is a small, rocky world. It is only about as wide as the Atlantic Ocean, and 18 Mercuries would fit inside the Earth. Mercury is very like the Moon. Its surface is covered with impact craters. It has no atmosphere and no water. The moon temperature at the equator can soar to 450 degrees, but the nights are extremely cold, below -118 degrees the pole. Mercury is surprisingly dense. It is thought to have a large iron core that fills most of Mercury's interior. It also has a surprisingly strong magnetic field. Se terminó, Mercedes, ya lo puedes cortar.
Earth is the third planet from the Sun. It takes 365 days, 1 year, to complete one orbit of the Sun. It also spins very quickly. Moons and stars appear to move across the sky. The tilt of the axis that joins the North and South poles mean that the Earth has seasons. When the North Pole points toward the Sun, then it's summer in the northern countries. When the North Pole points away from the Sun, these countries have their winter. The seasons are the exact opposite to the south of the equator.
Mars is often called the red planet because it appears in the sky as an orange-red star. Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun. It orbits the Sun at an average distance of 228 million kilometers, half as far again as the Earth, so human visitors will find it very cold. Although summers near the equator can be quite warm, the average temperature is 16.3 degrees Celsius below zero, similar to winters in Antarctic. The nights are also bitterly cold. The first humans on Mars will have other problems to face. The Earth is 100 times thinner than on Earth and mostly made up of carbon dioxide. Human explorers will have to wear oxygen masks and special suits every time they step outside their sleep home. Violent storms can be a cloud of dust. Sometimes this spreads rapidly around the entire planet, hiding the surface from view.
There is other planet whose name is in the trailer. Whose name is in it? Is Uranus! Uranus is the seventh planet from the Sun. Uranus lies more than 2,800 million kilometers from the Sun. At these distances, the temperature of its cloud top is minus 214 degrees. It moves quite slowly and it has a long way to travel, so each orbit lasts 84 years. Uranus is a giant world, the third largest planet in our solar system. Despite its size, it spins rapidly. Uranus spins like a top knocked over on its side. This means that the Sun is sometimes directly overhead at the poles. The main gases it is thick atmosphere and hydrogen and helium, with a small amount of methane. However, it is very different from Jupiter and Saturn. Uranus is mainly made of ice. At its center there may be a small rocky core. This means that it is very lightweight for its size. ¿Sí?
Neptune was discovered in 1846. Neptune turned out to be almost an identical twin of Uranus. It is 57 times bigger than the Earth, but spins quite rapidly. Like Uranus, it has an atmosphere of hydrogen, helium, and methane. Its interior is made of ice, with a possible rocky core. Although the atmosphere is very cold, the blue planet has some very strong winds and violent storms. Neptune has at least 5 dark, narrow rings. It has 13.
Saturn is the sixth planet from the Sun. It is made mainly of the light gases, hydrogen and helium. 764 Earths would fit inside Saturn, but the gas giant weighs only 95 times as much as our rocky world. If you could put all the planets in a pool of water, Saturn is the only one that will float. Despite its size, Saturn spins once in a little more than 10 hours. It spins so rapid, it has no solid surface. Y esta como era ahora.
Thursday was associated
with Jupiter.
Venga, voy a empezar. Jupiter, it is the fifth planet from the Sun. Everything about Jupiter is large. It is so big that it could easily swallow all of the other planets. It also weighs more than twice as much as all the other planets, despite its huge size. Jupiter is the fattest spinning planet. Jupiter is 5 times as far from the Sun as the Earth, so its surface temperature is low, around -145 degrees. Every 13 months or so it comes closer to us and becomes very bright in the night sky. Jupiter is a giant ball of gas, with no solid surface. It is mainly made of the very light gases, hydrogen and helium. The largest feature, called the Great Red Spot, is a giant storm, several times the size of the Earth. It has been blowing non-stop for more than 300 years. Jupiter has a fine ring of dust. ¿Mejor? Okay. Vale.
The gas that we breathe out, the carbon dioxide, traps most of the heat from the sun. The cloud layers also act as a blanket. The result is a runaway greenhouse effect that has caused the planet's temperature to soar to 465 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt lead. This means that Venus is even hotter than Mercury. The surface of Venus has been mapped by radar. The map shows thousands of volcanoes and impact craters. The surface of Venus has been mapped by radar. The maps show thousands of volcanoes and impact craters.
However, it is now retreating into the cold depth of the solar system, and this atmosphere will soon freeze again. Pluto spins backward, east to west, once every 6 days, 9 hours. Its largest moon, Charon, takes the same length of time to orbit Pluto. For many years, Pluto was accepted as the 9th planet from the Sun. Today, it is regarded as a...
On September 3rd, the moon was formed.
And 19 days later, the birth of life on Earth appeared.
Do you know that the first cells developed on Earth on November 9th?
No, I don't. And do you know that the first perturbators began on December 18th?
Yes, I do.
You're so clever.
Thank you. And do you know that the first dinosaurs developed on November 26th?
No, I don't know anything. And the first mammals began on December 17th. The dinosaurs died from a giant impact on December 30th, a global disaster. In this alternative explanation of the dinosaur disappearance, the end came literally in a global disaster, the impact of a giant asteroid. The crater formed by the impact is estimated to be at least 100 miles across. Rock thrown out of the crater blanketed the ground up to several thousand miles away, covering much of the North and South America, destroying everything. Giant waves called tsunamis swept over the land.
Lucia, why are you so pensive?
Because when I see the sky, I really want to know how the universe was created.
If you are silly, why do you think it?
I think sometimes.
Let's watch a video to know it.